We are the Wrestling Dorks. We are here this week for your listening pleasure. I am John, joined to my left, kinda, live via satellite, is the Wade Barrett to my Lord Steven Regal. Sam, welcome to the Wrestling Dorks, sir.
Wow, so that's a weird comparison there.
Well,
I think you gave me, like, the most credit you've given me. Wade Barrett is fucking the man.
Yeah, but Steven Regal is, or William Regal, whatever.
Stu Bennett, I mean...
Yeah, but, you know, what's he doing now?
The leader of the Nexus.
Which is a storyline that we'll discuss at some point during this bracket of ours. But, yeah, I think when you talk about well-respected English wrestlers, I think you got to go with Mr. Regal. It's top.
But Regal did not hold the WWE World Championship. I believe Wade Barrett did. I think so.
Did he? Wasn't he just buried by Cena? I don't even know. Either way, I think anyone would agree that Mr. Regal trumps Mr. Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you usually don't give me that much credit for, like, I used to like that Barrett had, like, 30 finishers, too, because he had the bullhammer at the end, which I liked, and then he had, like, at one point there was, like, the winds of change.
Yeah, the wasteland, or the winds of change, or something
wasteland,
like that.
Winds of change, like, yeah, so.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's...
Then he had that amazing run in the worst faction ever.
The League of Nations.
League of Nations.
That was the worst. That almost ruined the career of Rusev. It actually might have. He might be injured because of that stupid thing.
I think what ruined the career of Rusev was clearly the fact that John Cena had to go over 15 straight times after losing once.
And I actually wrote that down about how this week we didn't have the Rusev promo, the weird, like, looking up at Rusev, kind of like how I'm looking up at you now live via FaceTime. Yeah. You know, the weird Rusev promo, like, it's strange. Like, he could just be like a floating head at this point, Rusev. We have no idea what he looks like. But we didn't have him this week.
Do you want me to talk like Rusev right now for the rest of the...
I gotta be honest, and you guys can't see this because this is on podcast, but Sam and I are FaceTiming this show because I'm in Orlando and he's at home. But all I could see is Sam's head from, like, chin up, and it's very close to the Rusev promos you see on SmackDown. It's very close. So are you going to demand the title shot at Money in the Bank? Is that the next thing you're about to say?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
So, yeah, we didn't see Rusev this week. Was there even a Lana thing?
Yes.
I must have missed that. I got up here and missed a few things. But, yeah, so we still have Lana, thank God, but no Rusev promo. That's nice.
Machka!
So we're going to cover a couple items this week.
Are you drinking a Starbucks?
I'm drinking a cup of coffee. It's late at night. I'm trying to...
I thought it was a Starbucks. I'm like, you humper.
Well, they have Starbucks in the room.
Oh, my God. Wait, you're staying at the Ritz-Carlton, aren't you?
I'm staying at the Walt Disney Dolphin Resort. So, you know. Speaking of Dolphin, you know where I was going to go for dinner tonight? They have here a Shula's Steakhouse, as in Don. But freaking steaks were like $65. I was like, I can't possibly expense that. There's no way I could, like, explain why the hell I went there and not to the free food that was being provided. So,
Back in the days of Wellington Fargo, when I worked there, we had, I think it was a $65 limit for the day.
Oh,
so
God.
you could, like, theoretically, like, save up, like, your day.
That makes sense.
That's what they said. So, like, I remember the one we saved up our entire day. It was like me, two other people, and we went to this bar at night and ordered, like, an appetizer split and then drank like $175 worth of booze.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I could do, as long as I can have a justified business reason, I could pretty much order what I want, but I can't say why the hell I got a $65 steak.
Right, you would be better off, like, if you went there and was like, hey, I ordered a possible customer $65 steak, they'd be like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And, like, I got invited to dinners at the next show that I go to, but I'm sure that that's not going to come through, but I still might use that and be like, hey, remember when they invited me to dinner? I think I should expense that dinner, and then I could get myself a nice-ass steak. But it's nice, the Shula's thing says, still perfect or something like that, like on the menu. I'm like, oh, I love it. As a Dolphins fan, I love it, baby. So anyways, this week on the show, we got a few items. I did get to catch most of Raw, most of SmackDown this week. And then, of course, we've got our big first-round bracket matchup to talk about at the end of the show. So let's kick it off with the pending Fatal 5-Way. What do you think of this main event we've got at Extreme Rules?
This thrown together mishmash main event?
Yeah, I think the whole thing's thrown together. No Braun Strowman, so now they're just like, oh shit, what do we do?
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess from the aspect of you don't really know who's going to win, I guess. I mean, my thoughts are maybe you go with, from what I've read, Braun will be back for SummerSlam, and it's going to be Braun Brock at SummerSlam.
Okay.
But what gets us there, I don't know, maybe a Finn Balor Brock match.
That would be awesome. I would love to watch that, actually.
And, Brock goes over. Because, Brock's going to go over a bunch of times, and then the hero, our hero, your hero, my hero, Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it's going to happen. I don't wish injury on him, but I kind of wish something would befall him that he just can't make it to WrestleMania this year. But I don't know. I think Balor and Brock to me is the most intriguing match because we've seen what are your finger doing there?
I'm holding the phone.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to shut up. You put your finger up. I was like, what's about to happen? I thought. Jesus, the freaking technology. It is pretty crazy that I am watching the Pirates game on my Vita, talking to you through this phone, and then recording on this phone. It's pretty incredible. Then I'll probably go to upload this, and it'll get all jacked up anyways, and no one will hear us this week. Anyways, I'm sorry. So the Finn Balor and Brock match to me is the most intriguing because it's two completely different styles. And, we've seen Rollins before. Joe and Brock is pretty cool. But
yeah, I just don't think they're ready to put Joe in that spot.
No. And plus, it's two of the same type of guy. It's just that it's going to make Joe look weak if, you put his style against Brock's style. It's I don't know. But interesting stuff. And I'm also looking forward to the huge Goldust and R-Truth split. My God.
Yes. The heel turn that everybody's been waiting for.
Who the hell designed that? I mean, I guess they were going nowhere as a team, but...
Or it was just more like, hey, guys, we got enough tag teams. We need to break up one. All right, let's have Goldust go heel on Truth.
I just wonder, does anything come of this? Maybe one match at Extreme Rules and then that's it?
They're probably like, shit, we need an Extreme Rules pre-show match. Let's have Goldie and Truth go at it.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's the heel turn nobody wanted. Is really. I mean, I don't even. It's hard to get people to boo Goldust because he's been around so long, and turning against a guy that nobody really cares about doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I guess for these guys, they at least think, well, hey, it's a storyline.
Yeah, I mean, you got to fill 3 hours of TV each week. Maybe this can be one of those feuds that just gets solved on TV. It doesn't always have to end in a pay-per-view, I guess. So it's possible.
Half of Goldust feuds don't even get resolved.
Yeah.
The whole GTV thing back in the day.
And the Stardust. And Stardust never really got resolved.
Stardust and Goldust, that never got resolved, yeah.
Poor guy. Jesus. Maybe something will happen here, but I just didn't. I was more cheering the heel turn than booing the going against R-Truth thing. You know what I mean? So, let's talk about something else stupid. What do you think of the kendo stick on a pole?
I don't know. Is it me or is Alexa Bliss now the star of this division?
She totally took over. I mean, she's got that whole cheering heel thing where people like to. They're reluctantly booed. You know what I mean?
I think they're really into her look as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Very popular.
Yeah.
Looks wise, and I do love the thing she does with the belt.
Oh yeah, when she puts it out to the side. Yeah, I don't do it quite as hot as she does, but
No, yeah, not quite.
Yeah, well, you didn't see the whole thing. I could back up the phone and you could see the whole thing. I am wearing my Tapped Out Wrestling Network T-shirt tonight, by the way. Thank you very much to Nick and Myron for sending that over.
Yeah, I love those shirts.
Yeah, pretty good shirts. I mean, you modeled it on the website, so we've gotten nothing but tons of followers since then, so clearly it's you. But yeah, did you find that backstage segment with Angle and Bailey a little bit weird? Do you remember it? He was back.
Yeah, I remember. And he was like, "You have a big heart, Bailey." And he's like, but we're gonna. I didn't like how he's like, we're gonna get even with her. Like, wait, aren't you the commissioner? Why are you worried about getting even with somebody?
Yeah, and to me, it had that like weird. I don't want to say sexual tension, but it was like that weird like uncle who never talks to his niece is now trying to like console her, but like it was like this weird like. I don't like I said, not sexual tension, but like a weird like get away from me.
Yeah, that sounds like some of the Marlette family. Like,
here we go.
Historically a thing.
Here we go. There we go. No, it was not that like that. I meant it was like a weird tension. Like, get away from me, old man. All right, fine, whatever. I'm gonna.
You think Kurt's doing Bailey?
No, that's not. Okay, let's start that rumor. Yes, he is. That's.
I mean, he could be. I mean, she's a huge wrestling fan, so like, you know how like girls are, like they like power. Like,
yeah.
Whatever. So he could be like. Could have been like her hero at one point, and then she's like, well, if I could do him, Christ, I'm going to do him.
I guess, but Bailey doesn't seem like that. I mean, but then again,
I
know. I got to suspend reality.
I love when Alexa was like making fun of her for it.
Yeah, Bailey could be a total slut. Who knows? She's not all wholesome and good stuff.
You think when Bailey makes her heel turn, they'll make her into a slut?
Yep, it's on its way. Kurt was the catalyst. Kurt Angle's backstage segment was the catalyst to the whole thing. So yes, that's it. Good segue to Charlotte and the women's division on SmackDown. That actually wasn't a segue at all.
No. So the welcoming committee.
What a stupid piece of shit like faction that is. It's the three worst wrestlers, women wrestlers on.
No, they're not. Natalia's good in the ring. What's wrong with Natalya?
But there's nobody else. There were 6 women wrestlers on SmackDown.
Well, here's the thing. There shouldn't be women's factions.
No.
Because the roster's not big enough to support a faction.
Exactly. That and the fact that we know women can't get along, which we've covered on other episodes.
Yeah, please do one of our other episodes. You know, so listen. I can suspend reality for a kendo stick on a pole match. I can suspend reality for a few other storylines like Mae Young giving birth to a hand. I cannot suspend the reality that women are going to work together.
So it's more likely that a hand is birthed on live television than 3 women actually getting along. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
But Tamina never talks, so she could get along.
She's kind of just there. I think they're like, you know, they don't want to focus too much on her because her dad still killed somebody. Even though he got away with it because he was dying.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
Allegedly, thank you. I was wondering if you're going to throw that out.
Real quick. Allegedly.
My God. So, are we? You thinking that at Backlash, Charlotte turns heel? Because it's so.
Is she a face right now?
What?
Is she a face right now?
Well, she's with Becky and.
Yeah, I know. It's weird for her to like. I think she could end up like turning, so to speak, but she would be. It would just be like I set you guys up, and she's hardly been a face for such a short amount of time. It would just be part of like.
Right.
You know.
It would just be a continuation. I think she should because I don't like her. I mean, she's gonna get cheered just because she's awesome.
Yeah, she's gonna turn on. I think you're right. I think she turns on Naomi.
I think that'd be a great idea. I think they should do that.
They have to strap.
And then hopefully Naomi will go down in flames. And, yeah.
You know what? If you don't shut up, you better watch. Because if you don't watch, I'm going to snatch you bald.
My God. Yeah, that's a stupid thing. What else happened on SmackDown this week? We talked about no Rusev. We talked about Charlotte possibly turning heel. We talked about how you called it last week with your boy Jinder. It was called the Cobra Clutch Slam.
Now it's the Colossus.
The Colossus, which whatever, that's fine.
It means something in like Arabic or something.
Yeah, it probably means G.I. Joe in Arabic.
but yeah, more Jinder building up.
Yeah, I like it. He doesn't.
You know what?
Yeah, he doesn't have to win the title on Sunday for me to be down with Jinder.
It's just nice to see somebody different involved.
Yep.
And, you know, dude, literally, though, he is on so much freaking steroids. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I saw his back knee this week was just like...
His back knee is so bad. his, like Ryback said, his fucking boobs are so fucking bad. Like I have boobs because I'm fat. Like, he has, like, for a man that would be worked out to the level that he has to have those type of fucking tits,
yeah,
it's because it's fucking on roids. How in the blue hell has he not tested positive for something?
Well, he might have, but, you know, if he's getting the push, what do they care? Maybe they just, do they do random testing on everybody? Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Speaking of Jinder, and coming out of nowhere, so, like, what do you think about this? Like, I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, I don't know if they're getting over a ton, really, but the whole giving Breezango all these time and skits. I like the skits.
I like this. I love the skits. I love the, like, corniness of it. Like,
yeah.
And they
almost like a porn level of corny.
Yeah, I love that they call them the Uggos for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why they do it. It doesn't make any sense why they call them the Uggos, but no, I like it. And again, if these guys aren't going to be built up, they're just going to force them, and that's what they're doing. So whatever.
Isn't it interesting? Like, you know, like how many times we talk about NXT and acts that are so over in NXT and come up and struggle.
Yeah.
Look at American Alpha.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I mean, when they came up, it was probably much like, all right, this is going to be like the biggest thing ever.
Yep.
You know, and they came up and they've been stagnant. They were injured. He was injured for a little while, but it's like,
yeah, I
kind of feel like that it's not working out how they wanted, and now they're going to have to try and retool and figure something out.
They're going to have to do something because I've never heard like such loud crowd reactions as to when American Alpha would beat like the Revival for titles. It was just, they were so behind them, and they would like chant like Gable, like to the Kurt Angle music. The NXT crowd would go nuts for that. But
yeah, the Usos seem to be the most over. Most over in general. Like, I know they're heels, but
right. Yeah, it's hard to get a reaction out of fans anymore that for like new stuff. I don't know, like Ty Dillinger's over, but I feel like that shtick's gonna get old with the WWE crowd.
Yeah, I don't know. The writers got to do a better job.
Yeah.
And they've got to give an opportunity to some of these guys to, like, do something different. And, you know, I mean, some of the Usos, their promos, yeah, maybe it's a little weird.
Yeah.
But at least it feels like it's them almost.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? No, exactly.
It's not, like, so stilted and scripted.
Yep. Yeah, because that's the thing. I can't tell you one American Alpha promo. I've said it all along. If these guys can't talk, it's not gonna. I just don't think it's gonna work. WWE.
Right, I mean, it works sometimes. It just depends on the character, you know, that you have.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, like, think about it. Like, Neville, he's an amazing athlete, but he didn't start getting over and like popular with WWE crowd until he started being like an asshole and like saying terrible things. Like, I feel like in WWE,
he didn't get to talk before. Yeah.
Yeah, and it works in NXT. Plus, first of all, in NXT, sometimes to their detriment, they're in front of the same crowd every single week at Full Sail. So, like, they can just keep trotting Ty Dillinger out week after week after week. They don't care about ratings because they're on the network anyways. And just over time, he's going to get over because they see him every week. So just because he's over in front of those same 5,000 people doesn't mean he's going to be huge in WWE.
True.
So, anyways, I just fixed NXT. Start traveling around more often. Duh. Can I tell you, the Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin main event, for some reason, it was like slow and methodical. I just cannot. Randy Orton is obviously very talented, and he has an incredible finisher, and his music is awesome, but his work rate in the ring is so goddamn slow. It's hard.
I thought you were going to... Wow, so did you see all the controversy this week with Randall Keith?
No, what?
So Rip Rogers posted basically like lambasting like indie shows, saying like all these guys, it's the same match every indie match. You know, he's talking about all the flips and super kicks.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, there was a post by Bully Ray that had nothing to do with that, but it said something about a dive, and it showed Bully Ray doing a dive, and Randy Orton made a comment something like, there's a difference between a young, hungry guy doing a dive and an old, out-of-shape veteran doing a flop or something.
Oh.
And, like, there's this whole big internet thing, like, back and forth from everybody. And then Orton wrote, I'd like to apologize to all the fans. And he wrote, like, a big, long thing. And it was like, I'd like to apologize, for talking about flips. Because I do a flip every time I look at my bank account. And it was literally like, you'll have to check it out on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go on it. No, I haven't had a chance to check it. Oh, my God, that's awesome. I like that.
Randall Keith just like trolled all the Indy people. Which, see, now you just said you don't like how Randall Keith works,
right?
And we know Indy people, so you just don't like anything.
Yeah, I don't like any wrestling at all. I don't even know. I'm just here to record stuff. Yeah, I figured I'd let you talk wrestling.
Talk about something else then.
No, his work rate, like everything he does, he's like, I guess he's playing the whole Viper thing. Like he's supposed to be like coiled and ready to strike, and like, and you always know he's going to do the
Viper.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, good stuff. I'm ready for Backlash. I'm not really going to do a preview of it. I'm pretty sure we both think that Orton's going to win this match, or at least retain. At least retain. He might lose via whatever wackiness or something, but
Orton wins. Charlotte turns.
Breezango.
I think Usos hold. I think Kevin Owens, the new face of America.
Whoops. Yeah, we're supposed to care about that, aren't we?
Yeah, we were talking about that before the show. I'm like, why between two guys I like so much and are so good, why don't I care more about this feud? I feel like they have done a good enough job to make me care about it.
Yeah. I think it gets lost in the show. I never know. Like, you always know that the world title match, or whatever they call it, WWE title, is going to be at the end, like the main event, the Randy Orton stuff. But I don't know when to tune in to catch the Kevin Owens stuff. And, like, sometimes I miss certain segments, and I'm like, maybe I missed it, but then I'm not going to go back and watch for Kevin Owens. Like, I just don't feel like... And the thing is, it's going to be an awesome match, probably. You know? Two incredible workers, former indie guys, which you love.
He didn't ask.
Okay, that's great. That's nice of you.
I mean, I'm laughing. I was laughing when I was listening to him say, like, I liked when he was saying, like, the United States of America Championship, like, they're calling it, but, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like this feud could be going better.
Well, and the thing is, for me, not only that, but I feel like AJ Styles should not be in this title picture. He should be in the world title picture, the top level. So I feel like he's just kind of biding his time to get back up there.
I mean, they are elevating this belt, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I think they've done a good job elevating both this. Well, basically they have to, because one is held by Orton and the other is held by Brock, who's not around.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so tough to get behind those big titles, but maybe by making those I think we've always said the U.S. title and Intercontinental title are supposed to be like the workers' title. So, like, we're supposed to see that defended all the time, and maybe they're getting more to, like, all right, the world title doesn't get defended at every pay-per-view. I don't know.
I mean, it's...
I know, but maybe they're doing a shift in the landscape, you know what I mean, the way things are done. If they're going to do a pay-per-view every single month, maybe we just won't see a world title defense every month.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that doing, like, a tag match or something with the champ. I don't know, but at some point... Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the be-all, end-all in this feud, from everything you heard before, that at some point Baron Corbin's going to be champion.
Yeah, you would think. I know. Oh, my God.
Well, you're getting tired.
Yeah, it's getting late. I was talking to Jen earlier, Jay Lucky, and I'm like, you know, it's more tiring talking to people all day than you would think. I'm not saying that... I'm not saying that... Well, yeah, I guess true. I'm not saying that it's hard work, like... you know, roofing or something like, you know, like actual like hard physical labor, but it's exhausting doing that. People asking you questions all day and you have to talk bullshit. So
before we get into our matchup,
yes.
I'd like to apologize that Stubbs is not on this week because you're an idiot. Yeah,
we were supposed to have the third man, the mystery third man, to debate on the show this week, and I completely forgot that I was working a trade show in Orlando this week. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get Stubbs next week. We'll have to work out scheduling and stuff, but going forward, it shouldn't be an issue because I don't... Oh, yeah, I actually do have another show next month. We'll figure it out.
Look at you, World Traveler.
World Traveler, yeah. Next month is the one where Peyton Manning's the guest speaker, so I'm pretty excited for that. Yay. So, let's get into the Wrestling Dorks bracket. So, as we all know, the Yes Movement took down the breakup of the Shield last week, so that moved on to the second round. Now, moving over to the right side of the bracket, this week we have what should be a squash, but we're still going to talk it out and see which one was better.
It's not quite as big as of a matchup as last week.
Yeah, we have a bit of a. This is like a 1-8, a 1 seed versus an 8 seed, possibly, or maybe.
I would say it's more like a 6 versus 8 if they had those.
That's true. Yeah. So we've got in the mid 2000s decade, we had the Matt Hardy, Edge, and Lita love triangle going on, and
real life that turned into a feud. Yeah.
Yep. And about, what was it, 6-7 years prior to that, we had the Big Boss Man steals Al Snow's dog Pepper and cooks him and feeds him to him. So.
Now, in the realm of Boss Man feuds around that time period, would you say this was his second best feud compared to the one where Big Show's dad and he...
Yeah, I mean, Big Boss Man was doing some, like, down and dirty shit back in the late 90s. I mean, he was really, like... Because remember he came over and he was just, like, the heavy for the corporation, and then he was in the ministry or whatever. Was he in the corporate ministry with them, I assume?
Yeah, and then did he end up getting hung in the middle of the ring?
In what's widely regarded the worst Hell in a Cell match ever? Taker versus Boss Man at WrestleMania 99 or whatever?
God rest his soul.
Yeah, of course. Poor guy. So, okay, let's talk about these two. I think we're probably going to agree like we did last week on who the winner is. But, so, as the Big Boss Man versus Al Snow, I think that led to the dog kennel match. Didn't it? It was like a Hell in a Cell inside of a cage or something, or a cage inside a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, let me say, a feud that revolves around the dog. I know, remember we were watching a couple weeks ago, I told you about, since you don't know anything about wrestling, there was the British Bulldogs and Islanders feud where they stole Matilda.
Right.
I don't know who was writing this stuff. Like, it was the late 90s. It could have been, I don't know, maybe it was Vince Russo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But this was just, I don't know, some pure garbage. It wasn't a storyline that really thrilled me.
It was probably like a month-long storyline, too. It wasn't like a long scheme thing.
But I guess it's at least memorable.
Yeah.
You gotta give it that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody recommended. I think it was actually a wrestling dork friend, Dan Lefevre, that recommended this feud because he was pretty damn excited. So,
what the hell's wrong with him?
He's an Attitude Era boy, and he was very excited this was picked. I don't know that this is necessarily his favorite storyline of all time, but I think he wanted to see it.
He was probably just trolling us to see if, like, hey, are these idiots going to pick this?
And idiots we were. So, the shocking moment of him cooking him and saying, tastes like pepper and blah, and then Al Snow is like throwing up and he has this chair stuck on his butt when he stands up. I mean, it's a whole thing that I can vividly remember from the Attitude Era, but we can both safely say that it went nowhere.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give that storyline a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it too because it's memorable, so that's why it doesn't get a 1, but it was god awful between two guys we didn't really give a shit about. On the flip side, we have Matt Hardy and Edge and Lita. Now, you mentioned that this is like, there was a big deal with this feud because wasn't Matt Hardy like let go right before this or something?
Yeah, the whole big thing stemmed with it was basically, he was with Lita in real life, then he's out of the WWE, she's with Edge, and like, there's a lot of like support for him on the internet and everything like that, and all of a sudden he gets his job back to be thrust into like an actual wrestling feud over what was really real life heat between the two of them because he took his girl. So
let me ask this: how could he possibly like function if he's in the ring with Edge having a match with the guy clearly he hates? I mean, unless they made up and then
they might have like cleared the air backstage and got on with it, and plus they're professionals.
I guess, but it's still
true professionals with a lot of like money at stake. To be honest,
yeah,
they're not like pathetic human beings like I might be, where there'd be no chance of me being professional
I don't think you're pathetic. You look a lot like Rusev right now. You could probably intimidate your way into a job. You should do a job interview via FaceTime. Like, I take job, Machka.
You will give me job.
So, yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you what, this all like culminated in a pretty damn good match. Actually, I watched it back on the network the other day while I was getting ready to fly down here, and, because I researched for the show, since I don't know shit about wrestling. But it culminated in a pretty damn good match between Edge and Matt Hardy.
Yeah, the feud itself for me was disappointing.
Yeah.
For as hot as I thought it could be because of the real life stuff going on that kind of everybody knew about.
Yeah.
I know Matt Hardy cut kind of a strange promo. And this is, again, this is me all going off the top of my head. I remember this. I believe he cut a promo stating something like about hoping Edge died in a car accident or something. Which maybe it's the truth.
Probably.
I don't blame him. I mean, I've felt those feelings, but maybe not death. But,
but yeah, no, you're right. It just, you get those feelings, and maybe maybe he didn't even mean to say it, but it just came out.
Yeah, so I think it could have been better. It was kind of disappointing for me when I remember watching it, but I remember really being into it just because I'm like, oh my god, like, this is like a real life like situation. So, for me, it clearly beats Boss Man and a Dog.
Yeah, sorry, Dan. I guess this is a good week for Stubbs not to be on because we don't need the third man vote. So hopefully next week. And unfortunately, I don't have the storylines with me this week to pick.
Way to go! So we'll have to pick it next week.
We'll have to pick it. Maybe we'll pick it like in a couple days so that we can throw it out on a picture out on Twitter or something like that and get some fan votes. Good. And that way Stubbs
is locked and loaded though. He's excited to come on.
That's awesome. We'll definitely do some guests. And more things happening on the network. Honest to God, the network I think has like 8 shows now. I think there's like more than one a day.
Is there a chance that the Tap Out Podcast Network ends up with more original hours of entertainment than the WWE Network?
Weekly? Yeah, probably. Because the WWE Network has an hour of NXT, an hour of 205 Live, and I think they still do like main event or superstars or something. I don't know. Weekend.
And you got the after shows too, after like Raw.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, we're getting close. We're only like a half an hour of that a week, but still.
And how much is our network again?
I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's $0.00.
Exactly, it's a steal. It is a steal.
It's definitely a steal. You're getting hilarious content, and when I'm not traveling, I'm pretty active on the Twitter machine. So hit us up, and I'm gonna think, Sam. What I always wanted to ask you this, and we'll discuss this live right now. What do you think about me putting out a poll for the matchup that we're going to discuss that week to see what the humanoids think going into it?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I think I'll start putting out a poll like a few days before we're going to discuss it and see what. And then that way, say we don't have a third man, if you and I disagree, we'll go to the humanoids for the third man vote.
Yeah, it sounds good. Like, see what they thought the better storyline was.
There we go. And we won't necessarily agree with them, but they could be the tiebreaker when we don't have Stubbs. So, cool.
Or when I don't say it, when I just say like my opinion matters more.
Yeah, which we know it does not. So I don't have to worry about that. He is a little bit smarter than I am, but he's definitely not a bigger wrestling fan than me. So, yeah. Stop with your Rusev face. So, well, thank you for listening to this week's Guerrilla Press. We'll obviously next week we'll have a little bit better sound quality as Sam makes wacky faces into the FaceTime machine. Hit us up on Twitter if you haven't already. We're up to 420 followers. That's the big 420. So we're gaining some steam. And if you haven't subscribed, I don't know how the hell you're listening to this if you haven't, but check us out on tappedOutWrestlingPodcast.com. Sam, anything you want to plug before we head on out of here?
No, nothing to plug. Just we're in the summer lulls a little bit here in wrestling, folks. So bear with us here. SummerSlam, build up to that is when things start picking up again. When business is about to pick up.
Yep. Which, by the way, I think JR is doing the announcing for some tournament coming up.
Yeah, the UK tournament.
Yeah, so that might be worth listening to just for that, if nothing else. So.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Although they might intentionally tell them to be not good, so you don't want them back too much.
So Michael Cole doesn't sound terrible anymore. Oh my God, he was pissing me off this week. I forget what he was doing. he was saying something too. He was doing that screaming thing that JBL does. It's like they both have the same like cadence when they talk or something. It drives me crazy. Anyways, I digress.
He probably loves it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does love it. But anyways, thanks for listening, guys. We will catch you next week on the Guerrilla Press. Peace out from Orlando.
And see you later from Reddit.